Do you know what I absolutely love when it comes to the actual life? Just one particular experience can change everything. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpioni, and when it comes to you and when it comes to January 2023, this is exactly what is going to happen. The experience that you're going to have in between the 17th and the 25th of January 2023, it's absolutely going to change your life. Your whole perspective is actually going to change, and this in itself is going to be rather significant and important, because after that moment in time, you're going to be left with absolutely no option but to change your life. It is a significant life experience that I'm talking about, which is going to open your eyes, which is going to awake you. You're going to be awakened like never before. Why? Because you're going to suddenly have such a sense of emergency to actually focus on those things, on two specific things that mean to you so much, on two specific things that you have been thinking for such a long time, but you have seemed to have been waiting for the right moment, Well, you know what, my gorgeous Scorpioni, the right moment has come. When? Right now. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpioni, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Scorpioni, and it's for January 2023. I mean, you have to believe me, because this is going to be quite big. When it comes to the actual number, do you know what your number is this month? Number 1. I mean, come on. Number 1, it's not only about the actual experience and inspiration that is going to change your life literally, but it's also the power that comes with it, because it raises your, your spirit, and your vibration is going to rise to the point when you become absolutely undestroyable and untouchable, as long as you stay true to yourself, as long as you follow your dream. Now it's time to snap out of those things that were holding you down. Now it's time to move on with your life, my gorgeous Scorpioni, and that in itself is going to be absolutely huge. Let me tell you something. 2023 is going to be completely different than the actual 2022. Bye, bitch. 2022 was not such a good year, obviously, but when it comes to the actual 2023, and when it comes to your sign, do you know what? I can tell you it's going to be completely opposite. So it all kind of going to start like really kind of mind-blowingly, with this kind of like a significant life experience that you're going to have, and you're just going to be left with absolutely no option but to kind of make certain changes, in your life. And even more so, when it comes to the 30th and the 31st of January, what is actually going to happen then? You're gonna have a quite unexpected quite unexpected revelations, and these unexpected revelations that you are going to have, they're also going to make you aware of how much you've actually learned about yourself over the last 2 or 3 years. But it just wasn't time to kind of for you to unlock this. It wasn't time for this to be unlocked. And now, because you're entering the brand new year, brand new dimension, everything is going to feel completely different, and you will know that this is your time. And by the end of the actual March, yes, I said March 2023, you are going to have a giant, amazing reason to celebrate, and you will know exactly what and why, because you just you're gonna realize that you're getting to like absolutely mind-blowing stage of your life when so much is gonna start changing after this moment in time. This is so important. And going back to that significant life experience that you're going to have this month, my gorgeous Scorpioni, at the same time, as I said, you're going to find yourself like kind of you're gonna feel, you know what, now it's time to move on, and you're gonna feel like you want more out of life, what you are already kind of experienced. So that means that you're going to find yourself on the spiritual quest, and the spiritual quest that I'm talking about is just gonna leave you in such a way where you're gonna be left with absolutely, again, no option but to choose to make big life changes. And that in itself, it's also gonna make you aware of one particular thing, a change of priorities. This is gonna be quite, oh my god, but again, you have the strength strength. Again, you have the power. Again, you have the confidence. Again, you are going to have self-esteem. This is absolutely brilliant, my gorgeous Scorpioni, and it's rather important. When it comes to the actual 17th of January, I know that someone is going to kind of try to wind you up. You're going to find yourself like being surrounded by the group of people or by the couple of people who are going to be kind of challenging you. And this is also important now for you to kind of stand up for your beliefs, but to try to kind of not to create any arguments or whatsoever. Your spiritual duty at this moment in time should really be to kind of elevate yourself and rise above whatever is happening. But at the same time, you need to find the right balance and try to kind of put your point across without kind of aggravating anything further, but just to kind of stay true to yourself and just remove yourself from that situation and that group of people. This is very important, just to stand up for your beliefs and stay true to yourself, because this in itself, it's really kind of going to help you to remain objective, but at the same time, it's going to help you not to enter the area or the zone that you shouldn't be entering, because you are going to find yourself like facing a bit of a challenge, like dealing with the people who don't mean much to you, but at the same time, they're going to say something that is going to be absolutely unbelievable to you, and what you're going to say to them, it's going to be absolutely unbelievable to them. Nothing is going to change your mind, nothing is going to change their mind, so it's absolutely no point to actually just waste your energy with this type of people whatsoever. I mean, I'm not talking about the best friends, you know, I'm not talking about the family members or anything like that. So this is just something that is going to help you kind of to learn something very specific about yourself also, and how to deal with the people like this in the future without affecting your energy and vibration, but just to be able to move on and to put your point across without kind of like aggravating even more, even further. This is very kind of significant time for you indeed. And you know that also, on another hand, my gorgeous Scorpioni, when it comes to January, that somebody who's very close to you and somebody who's very important to you is just going to be acting in a very strange and in a very unusual way. They will say something, and I'm talking about someone really prominent in your life, like maybe like a family member or a great friend. They're going to say something unusual, something really weird, and this is really kind of going to surprise you, because you will kind of see that this is completely kind of out of character. And what you need to remember, my gorgeous Scorpioni, that at the same time, when you come across something like this, and when someone is acting in this particular way, you will know that there's something is actually quite wrong. And what you're going to find out once you reconnect with that particular person, all you need to do is just start talking to them. And once you start talking to that person, you will see and you will realize that I've been dealing with something so difficult and so heavy for such a long time. And what have they been kind of dealing with what is so heavy and difficult for such a long time? They were like kind of keeping it to themselves. Not that they were like kind of embarrassed what they were dealing with, but they just didn't want to kind of become a burden on other people's lives. Bless their hearts. So on one hand, it just shows that this is someone really beautiful that we are kind of dealing with here. I'm talking about someone really beautiful and nice, but also I'm talking about someone who just doesn't want to bother people with kind of their problems or their issues. And the bottom line is that you, my gorgeous Scorpioni, actually do have some kind of relevant experience when it comes to helping that person indeed. So this is something that, you know, you are going to find quite you know, you're going to find this like really, really rewarding, because it's because you have a relevant experience. You went through something that person is kind of going through now, but it's on like a much elevated level. It's like kind of, oh my God, it's like kind of more complex, and it's going to kind of bit further. So it's something that you were dealing with at some point in your life, and now you just kind of grew out of it. But the best thing is that you do really have them, you know, you can help them in terms of healing and in terms of like giving them a rather specific information here. So this is something that it's going to get back to you like so much. It's important for you to kind of do this, because also once you start having conversation with that particular person, and I'm telling you, you will know who this is, because they will say something odd, they will say something unusual. Okay, you will know who that is, and then you will perhaps remember my reading, and then you're just going to step in, you're just going to jump in. But what is going to be really interesting once you connect with that person person, and once you start talking to that person, it's the actual realization about yourself. The realization about yourself that you're actually going to have, it's going to be brilliant, because do you know what? It's going to happen along those lines where you are going to feel really pleased with yourself. And sometimes we just need other people to remind us things that we've been through in order to reflect on those things and see them from a completely different angle, and see them from a completely different perspective, and see them as something good rather than something bad. At that moment in time, not only we move on from that particular situation in our lives, but at that same time, something really magical happens, and almost immediately, not only we are able to reflect on some kind of situation that we thought it was dark, we are able to move on, we are able to grow. So only a couple of days naturally after that moment in time, you're going to come across like a mind-blowing opportunity. Yes, mind-blowing opportunity you're going to come across as direct result out of all this. Why? Because now you reach that stage of your life where you've just learned something really specific about yourself. So a couple of days later, it's gonna resolve in you seeing the opportunity and realizing the opportunity and recognizing the opportunity where you wouldn't normally recognize opportunity or see opportunity before. And this is the direct sign of growth. On one hand, because you reflected on that situation in a different way instead of negative and positive, and then on another hand, it's almost like to do with like a really amazing karmic reward as well, because you have no idea how much you've helped to that person in your life. And this is someone close to you, someone dear to you, someone so important to you. So when that person is happy, you are happy. When that person is excited, you are excited. So this is going to be absolutely brilliant, my gorgeous Scorpioni. And also when it comes to the January 2023, from the beginning of this month, you will have the energy like you haven't had the energy in such a long time. I'm telling you, from the 1st of January, you can just imagine like you're entering a whole new zone, you're entering a whole new dimension. This, do you know what? And also the first 7 days of January are going to open your eyes like there is no tomorrow. The first 7 days of January, I can tell you, the first 7 days of January, you will know that this year it's going to be completely different to any other year you've been through so far, but especially when it comes to the actual 2022. So the first 7 days are also bringing you an important answer. You are going to be surprised with certain events that you're going to become aware of that are going to need your immediate reactions. But you're also going to be surprised with like a very, very kind of interesting idea that you are going to have for the first time ever within the first 7 days of January. The idea that you're going to have, it's going to come to you in the weirdest of ways, when you least expect it. But most importantly, you're going to find this mind-blowing, because first of all, you're going to think, oh, this is ridiculous, you're going to say to yourself. But then again, you have got the 17th of January when something else is again going to happen, and it's going to point towards that idea. And then again, it's just not going to leave you alone. On the 27th of January, something is going to happen, and it's again going to remind you of that idea. And each time, your gorgeous little eyes are going to be open, every single time a little bit. So this is something that you need to go for, my gorgeous Scorpioni. You will know within the first 7 days that this year is going to be completely different indeed. When it comes to the actual nutrition and health, what I want to say to you right now is just to kind of please, my gorgeous Scorpioni, make sure that you're taking something like a natural vitamin D3, which is going to be extremely beneficial for your bones. It's going to be extremely beneficial for your health in general, but it's going to be also extremely beneficial when it comes to boosting your immune system, alongside a natural zinc picolinate, which is a highly absorbable version of zinc, and also with the actual organic chlorella. You should be taking the organic chlorella because metals are in the sky, metals are in the actual air, metals are in the ground, in the soil, in the plants. These bad metals are absolutely everywhere, and these metals are quite poisonous and they're quite dangerous. Organic chlorella has got the ability to actually detoxify all these metals naturally, but on top of that is rich in omega-3 essential fatty acids, which our body cannot produce by itself, but they are like extremely important indeed. And omega-3 essential fatty acids are absolutely brilliant for our mind, memory, our brain, and all these type of actions. This is something within the body. This is something that I really highly recommend you. And here is my gorgeous Scorpione organic chlorella. And here is the actual vitamin D3 and natural zinc. These are, of course, my own. These are, my own brand, and probably by now you're aware of it, aware of the fact that I do have my own brand. And the reason why I decided to create my own brand is because it was very difficult for me to find supplements without chemicals or without any unnecessary fillers. Indeed, these are of a superb quality, and they are basically suitable for everyone, like vegetarians and vegans. And in order to buy my vitamins, you can check the link in the description below, or you can just simply go on Google and just type in Sasha Bonasin vitamins, and my vitamins are going to come up that way as well. This is something I strongly recommend you. And also, my gorgeous Scorpione, when it comes to the actual January 2023, you know what, I want to say something to you, that there is going to be this is probably going to be also one of the most spiritual years when it comes to you, like finding out and realizing a lot about yourself, but also about your spirituality. This is going to be an important year. And especially it's almost the whole year, and precisely in between the 1st of January and in between the end of November. So it's the whole year almost, really. In between the 1st of January and the end of November, you're going to be spiritual like never before. You're going to have the ideas, realizations. You're going to learn how to read like so many other signs. You will be able to kind of read these signs from a completely different perspective, and you're going to love it. And on top of that, throughout this year, so it's not only about January, my babies, but throughout this year, you are going to start coming out of yourself spiritually, like so much. You're going to have so many ideas. You want to try this, you want to try that. There is a very interesting idea that you are going to have in terms of spirituality. You will want to try something, investigate something, find out a bit more of something that will catch your eye on the 25th of January 2023. But this is a lot to do with spirituality, and spirituality is so important in our lives, and it's about you kind of wanting to do something. You can have a very strong urgency to do something you've never done before, but it's to do with spirituality, but it's to do with you kind of like really wanting to do this. It could be absolutely anything, but it's an important part of your spiritual development. So it really depends what this is going to be. Maybe you will want to like smudge your home, maybe like with a dry sage, maybe you will want to kind of try certain crystals for the first time, maybe you will try to meditate something. It's very interesting. It's going to be very interesting, like in what way this is going to come up to you on the 25th of January. However it comes up to you, this is something that you most certainly should investigate. So basically, what else I was going to say, when it comes to the beginning of January, and from the beginning of January until the end of January also, try to pay attention to your body, mind, and spirit, because you're going to feel a lot like, your body is going to be communicating to you in a completely different way. So for example, if your stomach is hurting you a little bit, then that means that you need to change your diet, obviously. Then for example, if your head is hurting you, then that means that you're going to need to drink more water. So it's all about kind of paying attention to these subtle messages the body is trying to give you and tell you. But what you don't understand is the power of dealing with our own like kind of healing within us. Okay, so it's not only about knowing, oh yeah, this is what I need to do, which is like a common sense. Obviously, this is what I need to do when when like certain part of body is hurting or something like that. It's not only about that, but it's a lot about you just doing something about it immediately, and then starting the process in almost like a ridiculously powerful way, where you're also starting the process of healing. So it's not only about pinpointing things about yourself, about your body, what you need to do, but it's almost immediately you need to reflect on it, and then you're going to start a very powerful and very unique process of healing. When things are so kind of advanced in our lives, we are able to kind of elevate ourselves and use this energy really wisely. Very important indeed. And you know what else I was going to say, because of this spirituality throughout January, also when it comes to meditation, whatever you consider considered to be meditation. My gorgeous Scorpione, this is so important. When it comes to the actual meditation, you need to understand, you need to, before any meditation you start, you just remember to ask a question, and you are going to receive an answer. Just remember this. You can ask a question before you start any meditation, and it's going to blow you away what a sharp answer you're actually going to receive. Whatever you ask, don't worry, the answer is going to come. You see what I mean? It's really complex when I say that this is going to be really spiritual, because sometimes this almost whole year it's going to be really spiritual. Because sometimes, people just throw that word spiritual around quite a lot, and this is like, has got so many different stages that I can actually talk about it for days, but when it comes to you, this is something very specific that you need to kind of remember. Very, very important, my gorgeous Scorpione. And when it comes to the actual first date that I would like to make, and when it comes to this medication, not medication, but when it comes to this like kind of natural supplements, also, I don't know if I mentioned, if you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now I'm going to the very 1st of January, 1st and 2nd of January. Very 1st and 2nd of January, you are really going to, you are going to be facing a rather, listen to me very carefully, on the 1st and 2nd of January 2023, you're going to be facing a rather exciting intellectual challenge, okay? And that intellectual challenge in itself is going to bring you a brilliant insight. Now, what I think is really important to mention here is that you're going to be dealing with a specific information that is going to be really challenging for you to receive. But at the same time, what you need to remember is all you need to do is just review all your kind of documents that you are dealing with very carefully. That's exactly what you need to do, and the outcome is actually going to be really good, because by the time you get to the 15th of January 2023, you are going to be kind of having a certain information and message that it's going to be connected to the 1st and 2nd of January. And on the 15th of January, the message and information that you're going to have, the news that you're going to have, it's almost going to be kind of connected to some kind of invitation and opportunity that you're going to become aware of at that moment in time, that is very, very soon going to come to you, and you're going to like it indeed. And you see, this is going to be direct result from the actual 1st and 2nd of January 2023. So you see how everything is indeed connected, and that invitation and opportunity that you're going to become aware of on the 15th of January, my gorgeous Scorpione, that opportunity, it's also going to bring you like so much kind of like a determination immediately. It's to do with your desires, it's to do with a strong willpower that you're going to have. But you will also know that a very big goal, it's actually it's nearly attained with this, because it's to do with an intelligent choice. But also this is going to bring so much resolution into your life. By the time you get to the actual 5th of January, my gorgeous Scorpione, by the time you get to the 5th of January, listen to this very, very carefully, because you will know exactly what to do here. Your next step will be revealed. By the time you get to the 5th of January, this is in general very, very big. It's not connected to none of these dates or none of the days that I said. It's the 1st and the 2nd of January that is connected to the 15th of January. So now I'm going back to the 5th of January. 5th. Sorry, I know, as usual, I'm a little bit confusing. I'm sorry. So I'm going back to the 5th of January. You will know exactly what to do here. Something is going to be, it's to do with the revelation, which is going to reveal the next step for you. Indeed, but at the same time, it's going to come through some kind of lies. You're going to become aware of some kind of lies. You're going to become aware of some kind of dishonesty, and that is going to be the base of how you will know exactly what to do next. It's almost bringing a revelation in itself, and you're also, like when it comes to the 5th of January, you're also going to get a rather unusual message. And you know what this rather unusual message is going to be. it's like basically you will kind of realize that you overcame something really bad here. But why is it like, so this is going to be good, of course. So you're going to realize, oh my God, I overcame something so bad. You will overcome something so bad here. But why you are going to find this very unusual is because you would think normally, oh, I feel so excited about it, that's brilliant. But almost immediately you are going to have some kind of new interest in matters that it's actually going to surprise you. And that new interest in matters is going to consist of you, of your great skill. But at the same time, you will know now suddenly, somehow you're going to become aware of the new possibilities that are going to bring new relationships into your life. And now, because of this kind of situation, you're also going to kind of understand in the future how to have a new, how to have a new approach to old problems, how to approach like problems in a different way. And this is brilliant. And this is brilliant because this is all leading towards you making a really, really wise choice here. And I like it because it's going to happen completely out of the blue. And this is when things are going to start getting really really interesting for you as well, because you're doing the best possible thing in terms of being really wise, but on another hand, it's terms of your own practicality. You are going to release such a big amount of negative energy here. And I like it because you're going to realize how frequently you were doing maybe things that you didn't want to do for too long. And this in itself, it's really going to open your eyes, and it's going to make you aware of the fact that you felt like too restrained, for too long. And this restraining feeling just kind of like prevented you to be yourself and just put you in a bit of a limbo for way too long. And I'm talking about a limbo like about the last 12 to 13 months. There is something that you really literally need to snap out of and speed things up. And now this is all going to motivate you to speed the process of to speed certain things in your life, and just to focus on those things that make you feel really, really excited. There is so much exciting. There is so much that is going to start fading into the background that was draining your energy unnecessarily and so far over the last year or two. And you're going to be wondering and with yourself in the best possible way, like, oh my God, I can't believe I allowed this to affect me so much. I can't believe that I allowed that to affect me so much. So this is all absolutely brilliant because it's going to show how much you've actually changed, my gorgeous Scorpione, and how much you actually kind of learned over the last year, let alone about things around you, but about yourself. This is what I'm talking about. Very important indeed. What else I was going to recommend you, my gorgeous Scorpione, would be this beautiful ruby fuchsite. And it's fantastic pendant because it helps you to make the decision without over-analyzing. There are going to be quite a few decisions you're going to be making, especially in between January and April 2023. There are going to be quite a few decisions you're going to be making, but I'm going to be honest with you, but because there are going to be so many other things going on that are going to be affecting your concentration levels. And what ruby fuchsite does, every single time you make an important decision or you're doing something important or dealing with something important, but primarily before you're making important decision, as soon as you wear ruby fuchsite, it brings you right down on the ground. It grounds you, it recenters you, and at the same time it helps you to make the right decision without over analyzing. When we start to over analyze, we start to lose ourselves, and most importantly, we start to lose the importance of our original decision, and then we just wonder, oh God, I don't know what to do anymore. So this is why I really strongly recommend you to wear a ruby fuchsite, my gorgeous Scorpione. And if you don't want to buy it for yourself, perhaps you know someone who could benefit from this before they make decisions, so it really helps them out as well. This gorgeous ruby fuchsite comes with a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. Now, going back to the actual 11th, the next date that I'm going to be talking about, it's going to be the 11th and the 12th of January. It's like, bam, hallelujah, 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 Scorpione, 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 Scorpione. My gorgeous Scorpione, you know why am I saying hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah? Because the 11th and the 12th of January 2023, I mean, this couldn't have happened at a better time. I like this so much, and this is going to pick you up. You're going to be picked up like never before. I love you so much because I know that you have been struggling with certain things in your life, and this struggle went on for way too long, and you have found yourself like doing things, as I said before, that put you in a bit of a limbo. And when I say that we are put in a limbo, it doesn't mean that, you know, we were so negative, we couldn't move, you know. No, baby, no. But it's just like your kind of development was maybe like kind of stopped for a while, and it was affected your development in such a way. When we are kind of really focused, when we are really sharp, and we know what we are doing, and we are doing things in the right way, then we are able to connect to our future in a different way. We're able to feel things really vividly, and this energy and vibration, it's essential. It's essential, you know. It's essential for our own progress, because there's so many things about us that we can't explain or understand in terms of the vibration that's attracting us, you know. And then we follow the certain vibration and energy that becomes vivid. The more you put energy towards it, it becomes more vivid, and it becomes more, you kind of more find your way around, you know, and you follow the right vibration, so you know what to do and which decisions to make right now, which would be the best possible decision when it comes to your immediate future. I'm not talking about 10 years time now. In 10 years time, I'm talking about your immediate future. So this is important. But when we are stuck in limbo, we are just almost like stealing our power from ourselves. And also, when it comes to being stuck in a limbo, it means that sometimes, you know, we go through lives when certain people can overshadow us. These certain people, they don't have to be certain people in your life, but it can be also people who are maybe around you, who you are around you on a daily basis, who are part of the system that no longer serves you, for example. Part of the system where everybody's doing something, but everybody's kind of dealing with things, they're okay, but then you're unhappy because that's not for you type of thing. So you just kind of go along until you find something better, or until the certain situation in your life improves, and then you can kind of like really make an important decision based on that. When it comes to organic progression in life, and when it comes to our own response to it, you see what I mean, rather than someone else responding. This is so important, my gorgeous Scorpione, because the 11th and the 12th of January, this is going to be brilliant. Such an amazing accomplishment. It's something that you worked on for such a long time, and now this is going to be brilliant, because it's about not only like an amazing accomplishment. Listen, it's a reward, accomplishment, something that you've been working on for absolute ages. I'm not saying that things hasn't been happening, but this is going to really on one hand surprise you, but then on another hand, my God, you will know that your life is going to change after that moment in time. It's about an ultimate change in your life that you are going to be able to make. You are going to be able to start, like everything is going to start changing in your life after this moment. So it's about the recognition, which is going to bring an ultimate change in your life, but then at the same time, it's really going to be like, you know, this is going to be extremely rewarding. A reward from your hard work, my gorgeous Scorpione, hallelujah. Just remember, you know, and you're going to find this extremely rewarding. This is going to be something very successful, and you know, people are going to be admiring you here. This is brilliant. You're also going to find out some kind of secret little formula, how to do something really quickly. Please do me a favor, and this secret little formula, how to do something really quickly, pass it on to those people in your life who means to you the most, please. And the 11th and the 12th of January are bringing you an amazing, mind-blowing, great determination, because you will know that a very huge obstacle is about to disappear. So now this success is going to bring you great determination, initiative, strength. You know, it's going to make you feel extremely active, but at the same time, it's going to kind of bring your power up, you know, and it's to do with, like, on one hand, deep emotional feeling, but then at the same time, you're finding yourself on a spiritual quest, another spiritual quest. When it comes to this in particular, this is going to affect every single part of your lives. And at the same time, you know, it's to do with like a basically progress, obviously. And you are going to find out also in between the 11th and the 12th of January that you are going to need to kind of deal with, talk to someone. You are going to need to have an important conversation with someone here. And something is going to be putting you off like there is no tomorrow. I think it's to do with an important conversation as the kind of like the next step out of this, you know. You will know for some reason there will need to be an important conversation with someone, and you're not going to like it. You're going to be like, oh God, you know, that person is like making me feel really bad about something, or that person is like kind of like having a really bad impact on me. That person is draining my energy. It's just someone that you don't like to be surrounded by, you know. And but this is the part of the process. As soon as you become aware of someone who you need to have an important conversation with, just remember that, you know, the things are going to turn out to be completely different in between you and that person. To start with, nothing is going to be intimidating about this, nothing is going to be horrible about this, but most importantly, that important conversation, you know what, you are going to realize, you're going to realize about yourself, like, which part of your life do you need to put more energy towards? Which goal, which specific goal in your life do you need to put more energy towards? You're going to realize through that conversation, and you are going to get inspired by something so much, something how to make money, or something like how to make your materialistic situation much better. It's to do with the materialistic gains, some kind of idea you're going to have here as well. So you see what I mean? This is something that you should really kind of go for when it comes to like you are knowing that you need to have an important conversation with someone. You just need to trust that things are going to turn out to be absolutely magnificent for you in every possible way. And if something puts you off, as I said before, just take this as a challenge, and you will see, my God, you will surprise yourself. And why? Because you have no idea how much you've actually changed over the last 2 or 3 years. You have no idea how much you've actually learned over the last 2 or 3 years. And sometimes when the time is not right, things are locked within at the back of our subconscious mind when the time is not right. So it only comes up, you know, when the time is right. New year, new energy, fresh start, my gorgeous Scorpione. So now it's time. So this is why you're going to start seeing like and realizing that you're reflecting in a completely different way towards certain things that you would absolutely run on miles if you come across, you know, with. So this is why, this is all the direct result of all this. And someone is also going to give you a very interesting advice at around the 11th and the 12th of January as well. When it comes to that idea, there is a really beautiful person who, really beautiful person who is very kind of warm-hearted, really gorgeous, really grounded, very kind of open-minded, very devoted, very gentle, very gorgeous. I mean, it's almost like someone who can't do things wrong in life. Do you know what I mean? That's how people feel about this person. Somebody very beautiful, but also ridiculously knowledgeable and very gentle and very kind. And this person is going to give you very interesting advice when it comes to that idea. In fact, the advice that person is going to tell you is, first of all, not going to make sense whatsoever, but a few days later you're going to wake up in the morning and suddenly you're going to realize something about this advice that you didn't realize before, and you're going to be able to understand this advice again from a completely different angle. What else I was going to recommend you, my gorgeous Scorpione, would be this absolutely gorgeous tiger's eye pendant. And this tiger's eye pendant, it's gonna be remarkable. Why? And I would suggest this to wear. I would suggest you to wear this throughout the year 2023, because I told you you're gonna be spiritually open. There is so much that it's going to come to you. You know, in terms of like the actual signs, in terms of the actual synchronicities, in terms of like spirits coming forward and saying, "Hello, my darling." You know what I mean? So much is gonna be happening. Like, my God. But when it comes to like us being spiritually open more than we normally are, then we become like a kind of sensitive to the certain entities and to the certain energies that may be surrounding us. And we can also become a rather, so you see what I mean? The more you're psychically open, you know what I mean? The more you're intuitively open, the more you're kind of like understanding and realizing, oh my God, I've changed so much. I understand this, I understand that. Now I see the leaf and I know like, oh my God, there's something really brand new. It's about to come in in a couple of days. You know, like there's so many different realizations that you're actually going to have. But what I mean to say is that when we are open spiritually, then we become just a little bit sensitive to the other energies, and especially when it comes to like a people with the evil eye. Sometimes people can give us an evil eye, not really intentionally. People can have lots of problems. People can go through lots of problems, and then they give us an evil eye unintentionally, and we just talk to them and they pass something on us, you know. Or people can like maybe do it even intentionally. People can be quite scary sometimes, certain people, I suppose, you know what I mean. Those are those silly ones who don't understand it. All these things are gonna get back to them at some point or another. Is the way energy works anyway. But the bottom line is here that, you know, an evil eye can be passed on you intentionally or unintentionally. And what am I trying to say is because you are going to be spiritually open throughout the years. I said to you before, you just need to get something like a tiger's eye pendant. It's absolutely a must. It's not only going to protect you from a negative energy, negative people, negative vibration, and evil eye, but it's also going to attract success, prosperity, and it's this baby. It's actually a good luck stone, a good luck crystal. So it brings a good luck into your life, but it brings also prosperity and success as well. This gorgeous tiger's eye pendant comes with sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Scorpioni, you're also supporting my channel as well. The actual day that I want you to pay attention to, it's going to be on the 31st of January. Now, the 31st of January, it's a big mama, and I will tell you why. Because the 31st of January, you are going to feel a little bit stressed. You are going to feel a little bit anxious. And you know what? This is actually brilliant. Yeah, so you're going to feel really stressed, you're going to feel really anxious, you're going to feel really nervous, but this is actually really brilliant. Why? The more you feel stressed, the more you feel anxious, and the more you feel nervous, actually this is your sign that the better it's actually going to be, because within the next 7 days after that moment in time, yes, this is the 31st of January, so within the next 7 days after that moment in time, the direct reason why you felt so stressed, why you felt so anxious, and why you felt so negative, it's going to be cleared. It's going to come to an end. It's within the next 7 days, excessive pressures are going to be resolved. So this is your good a little witchy sign here on the 31st of January. Don't get worried, don't get negative, don't feel down, or don't feel kind of gray or anything like that. You know what I mean? Just remember that kind of like a stress that you're going through, it's actually going to come to an end within the next 7 days. There is something that is going to be resolved, and what is going to be resolved is exactly that what caused you to feel this way. And this in itself, you know, it's gonna like cause just a little bit of obstacle, and just remember this is going to be absolutely fine. And also on another hand, you know, that overburdened feeling and excessive pressure and anxiety that you're gonna feel on the 31st of January, you know, where is it coming from? It's coming from you having a tower moment within the last 16 months. There was a massive, giant tower moment. You know, tower moment, you know, maybe some people don't know, but the tower moment situation is like a really bad and negative situation that can happen in our lives, and it's like throws us out of balance, and can be really bad, and it can be really negative, and it can affect our whole life, you know, like in a really bad and negative way, because it happens suddenly and it's not good. So this is not good, mama, whatsoever. So within the last 16 months you had this like a tower moment, like a very bad tower moment, and it was affecting you like, oh my god, so much, and it's still affecting you. So the last 16 months you were affected by that tower moment, and you are gonna be reminded by that on the 31st of January. What an amazing omen, what an amazing sign that this is actually happened right at the end of the month, you know, and you are just entering the brand new month of February after that moment in time when this annoying nuisance in your life, it's actually going to be resolved. Again, again at the end of the month and at the beginning of the new month. Absolutely remarkable. And this is a very powerful omen, and this is a very powerful sign that your life is absolutely about to change in every possible way. You will know that you're going to be so much busier, so much of a negative energy is going to disappear, and after that moment in time you're going to feel even more re-energized, and you're going to feel so keen to make an important adjustment in your life, because you're not going to be able to ignore the fact that, you know, the priorities changed, as I said before, like a full on, and this is going to be highlighted by the end of the day on the 31st of January. You are going to get a very, very interesting advice in order how to make a big change. Okay, this is very important, because it's not only about the 31st of January, but it's also the last 7 days of January, the last 7 days of January, the last 7 days of January. Just remember, you're going to feel like, you know what, I want to make one of the biggest decisions of my life, one of the biggest steps of my life. And this big step is going to be consisting of you making a huge, massive change, but this change is going to be connected to your home and immediate environment. You know, this is going to make you feel so much happier. It's going to bring so much pleasure into your life, but at the same time it's going to bring such a great you know, you at the same time you are going to have such a great kind of confidence in order to do this. So there is going to be an interesting advice where you're going to get also how to actually do this, you know. And as soon as you kind of become aware of that interesting advice, you will know that, you know, it's about, you know, the process of change is starting, and that in itself it's going to need a little bit of your alteration. It's all about, you know, this is all going to be like the beginning of a very, very meaningful experience in your life. You're going to find this rather adventurous just thinking about it, let alone when you take this on. Just remember, it's about the decision that you're going to make. This decision is important because it is also a kind of going to start the process of some kind of birth. You're going to give a birth to something very, very amazing, which is literally going to change your life for the better, of course, after this moment in time. So now, my gorgeous Scorpioni, I'm just going to see briefly what is going to happen in the first part of January, mid part of January, and the last part of January. The first part of January, you are going to have a very, very interesting omen, very interesting sign. It's like, oh, you see, this is what am I talking about. It's like all full of these omens, and it's full of signs. And you know, when it comes to January, you can just imagine what the whole year, what the rest of the year is actually going to be like. And this is purely because you are spiritually becoming open. You will see things you didn't see before. You will understand things you didn't understand before. This sign, this omen that you are going to have, you will know exactly that you need to be very, very clever about something right now. You need to keep something to yourself. Just remember this omen and sign that you are going to have. You need to be very clever about something, that you're working on something. You need to keep this to yourself. You will know what this is because you will be thinking about something, and you will want to kind of say this to the world, and then suddenly you will have a sign. No, baby, no, that this is something you need to keep to yourself, because at around the same time you're also going to find out about someone who you cannot trust whatsoever. By the time you get to the mid part of this month, my gorgeous Scorpioni, by the time you get to the mid part of this month, you're really going to need to prove your point to someone. Okay, this is very important. By you proving your point to someone who is so close to you, who is so important to you, they're not going to do something stupid. So you need to find out how you're going to prove your point to someone so close and so important to your life, almost as if they're about to do something stupid, the most stupidest thing they could do, and you need to prove their point. You need to find the ways how you can kind of prove your point to that person, because you're 1,000,000% right. How you're going to feel about what that person is about to do, you're 1,000,000% right. So you just need to work on how you're going to prove your point. And the last part of this month, my gorgeous Scorpioni, you just need to understand that, you know, the process of change is literally starting. And that in itself, that, you know, just to remind you of that rather meaningful experience that you're going to have in the last part of January, but then at the same time, this in itself naturally is going to require from you to cancel certain plans. You will most certainly know which plans I'm talking about here, because something is also coming to an end. And my gorgeous Scorpioni, when it comes to those of you in relationship, it's like, oh my God, you are, this is brilliant, because your life is about to change. You know, there is an information and message that you are going to have that it's going to give so much hope to both of you. Once you have this information and message, you are going to be able to do something so big, something you wanted to do in absolute ages. And this is to do with your immediate home, with your immediate environment, and this is to do with the part of your life that is going to make both of you feel so much happier. You have put something on hold, my gorgeous Scorpioni. And I'm talking about the couples here. Of course, you put something on hold here that it's not necessarily prevented you from being happy, but it's just prevented you from doing what you both wanted to do. So you carried on with certain things in life and you left this on the side. So now it's time to carry on with this, you know. So basically the bottom line is, by the end of January, you, my gorgeous Scorpioni, the actual couples, by the end of January, you are going to have a reason to absolutely have the biggest party of your life, because you will know that now it's time for you to do something really, really big. You will be able to do something really big, like huge, massive, that is you both gonna find extremely beneficial. And for those of you who are ready to, hello my darling, for those of you who are single and ready to mingle, my gorgeous Scorpioni, what else I want to say, here for the single ones, well, let me tell you that at around the 14th of January, it's like what I actually didn't mention, but at around the 14th of January, you are there is, you know, you're gonna have a reason to kind of be really happy, because you will know that almost like some kind of wish, something that was on your mind for so long, it's about to come true. And that wish that was on your mind for so long that it's about to come true, it's also at the same time going to make you aware of a plan, of a certain plan. And now as soon as you start thinking, oh, I need to come up with a plan, so first of all, you're going to become aware of like a wish, some kind of wish coming through, and then at the same time you're going to need to come up with a plan. And when you come up with a plan, what is actually going to surprise you, you're going to be thinking about like this plan, and then suddenly it's going to come to you completely out of the blue, where to go. Oh, I want to go out over there, I want to try this and I want to try that. It's just going to come to you like whether you want to go out somewhere you've never been before, or whether you want to do something that you haven't done before, you know. So it's like, this is like really important for you when it comes to people, and when it comes to people in your life, you know. So this is something you need to pay attention to. So it's not only about a wish coming true, but at the time when you become aware of that wish at around the 14th of January, at the time when you become aware of that wish, you know, at the same time, just you are going to start planning how you're going to do something, but then at the same time there is a private, something personal is going to come to you just out of the blue. I hope you understand what I mean. Some kind of idea completely out of the blue, and this energy is going to kind of attract that. So it's going to start opening you nicely. So whether this idea is going to be like whether you want to go out and socialize, or whether this idea is going to be like, oh, maybe, I don't know, how I can meet people or whatever. It's like along those lines where you are really going to come up with some kind of idea, realization. And this is something that you need to understand, that is going to really kind of bring you very, very close to someone who is going to be completely different to everybody else. By the end of January 2023, you will know exactly what I was talking about. And within the last 11 days of January, in particular, within the last 11 days of January, you are already going to find yourself doing something you've never done before, like going somewhere you've never been before, where you are going to meet like a really interesting new people. And one of them is going to be like stranger in the night, Scorpion in the morning. Not just yet, but this is how you know where this person and how this person is about to walk into your life indeed. Okay, my gorgeous Scorpioni, happy new year 2023. I wish you all the best. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my video. Sasha Bonasin, psychic medium. Love you. Bye.